You know that feeling when something keeps coming back. Not like a thought you can push away, but something that sits in your chest and taps on your ribs until you pay attention. That's what this has been for me. I sat with this message for days. I questioned it. I second guessed whether I was the one who was supposed to deliver it. Because honestly, it's not the kind of thing you just put out into the world casually. It's not a light-hearted 5-minute pick-me-up. This is the kind of message that makes you feel exposed when you hear it. It's the kind of thing that asks you to look at yourself in a way you've been actively avoiding. And that is exactly why I have to share it. There is something that happens when you reach a certain point in your life. You might not even notice it at first, but at some moment, probably during a quiet Sunday morning, or maybe a late night when you can't sleep and your phone is just sitting there dark, you realize that something has shifted inside you. Not a loud, dramatic shift, more like a slow fade that happened over years while you were busy being responsible, being practical, showing up for everyone else, doing what you were supposed to do. And now you're sitting here hearing these words and you feel something. You feel something. Maybe it's a subtle tightness in your stomach. Maybe it's that familiar ache that lives just behind your ribs that you have gotten so good at ignoring. Ignoring that. Here is what I'm being told to tell you, and I'm going to say it 3 times, not because I'm trying to be dramatic or give you some sort of mystical experience, but because Spirit, the universe, source, doesn't repeat things for no reason. When something comes back 3 times, it means it's urgent. It means you need to hear it. And I can promise you, this is not a coincidence. This is not random words randomly appearing. This is for you. Let me focus. What I'm about to say is going to land on some of you like a wave. It's going to feel like someone reached inside your chest and gently pressed on a part of you that you forgot was there. It might make you uncomfortable. It might make you want to close this window or scroll past it. But if you are still here, if you are still listening to this, hearing this, there is a reason for that. So here is the first thing. I want you to just sit with it. Your soul, your deepest self, didn't come here to play small. It didn't come here to just get by or to make things comfortable for everyone around you. You came here with a specific purpose. You came here with a specific gift. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that what you had to offer wasn't enough. You started believing that being safe was more important than being alive. And that belief has been running your life without you even knowing it. This is not just about career or love or any of the surface level things you might be worried about. This is about something much more fundamental, foundational. This is about the way you see the world, the way you experience your own existence. Some of you had a moment in your childhood, maybe you don't even remember it clearly. It might be a feeling more than a memory, actually. It might be a sense that something was taken from you or that something was changed in you. You looked at the world with wide open eyes, seeing possibility everywhere, seeing magic and potential and connection. And then something happened. An adult maybe told you it wasn't real. A situation forced you to become serious before you were ready. An environment demanded that you grow up faster than you should have had to. And that changed you. It didn't just teach you caution. It taught you that the world was small. It taught you that dreams were dangerous. It taught you that wanting things was a setup for disappointment. And you adapted. You became practical. You became the one who planned, the one who saved, the one who controlled everything, because if you didn't, things would fall apart. That was a survival strategy. Yeah. And I want to honor that. I'm not here to shame you for building walls or for protecting yourself. No. That part of you deserves gratitude and respect. It got you here. It kept you alive through hard seasons. It made you sure you had food on the table and a roof over your head. The knight of practicality, the one who holds tight to what they've got, that part of you is not the enemy. But here's what's happening. That part of you is no longer leading you to freedom. It's leading you to exhaustion. You look around now and ask yourself, is this it? Is this what all the work was for? Was it supposed to feel this hollow? Some of you feeling like you are constantly running on a wheel that never stops. You work, you plan, you manage your finances, you worry about logistics and timelines and everything that needs to happen. And it's heavy, it's always heavy. And the worst part is that you barely even remember what it felt like before you took on all of this weight. But your soul remembers. Your soul remembers being light. Your soul remembers being curious. Your soul remembers what it felt like to not be afraid of the future. And that part of you, the part that has been in the background for years, maybe decades, that part is calling out to you now, not demanding to be let out. It's more like a whisper, like a child. Yeah, like a child standing at the door of a party, too shy to come in, waiting for you to open the door and say, hey, you're welcome here. You are welcome here. The second time, Spirit wants me to say this is that you are not lost. You haven't made a mistake that cannot be undone. You haven't missed your chance. I know it feels like you might have. It's so easy to look at your life and feel like the window for magic has closed, like you had your shot and you blew it or you settled for something smaller, and now you're just living the consequences. But I'm telling you right now, that is a lie. The longing you feel when you're quiet, the pull towards something more. That's not a flaw, that's your truth. Fighting to get out. That's your inner world telling you that the life you are living is not fully yours. You know how sometimes you meet a real old person and they look at you with this knowing smile and they tell you that life goes faster than you think and you should enjoy it while it lasts. You nod politely and you think you understand, but you don't really get it until you are standing in the middle of your own years and you realize you've spent most of them trying to avoid disappointment instead of pursuing joy. That is what we are talking about here. That is the core of this message. You have been running a program that was designed to keep you small, designed to keep you manageable, designed to make you palatable, to people who don't actually matter. Here is the third repetition, I want to say. You are the center of your own universe. And I don't mean that in a selfish, ego-driven, narcissistic way, not even close. When you understand that you are the center, what you are really understanding is that everything you experience begins with you. The quality of your life is a reflection of the relationship you have with your own self. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator. You have the power to shift your entire reality just by shifting your perception. That doesn't mean everything will be easy or perfect or that you will not have challenges. But it does mean that you are not powerless. It means that what you bring into the world matters. What you create matters. How you show up matters not just to you, but to everyone around you. And that is where the responsibility lies. That is the next part of this message. Some of you are going through a time of immense disappointment right now. Something you believed in, something you were counting on, it's either falling apart or it's already gone. And it's hitting you in ways you didn't expect. Maybe it's a relationship that didn't turn out the way you hoped. Maybe it's a career path that feels empty. Maybe it's the sudden realization that you have been building someone else's dream and calling it your own. And that disappointment is real. That pain is legitimate. Don't let anyone tell you to just cheer up or look on the bright side. That's not what this is about. What's happening right now is that you are being asked to let go. And I know how much that sucks. That sucks. Letting go is something you can do with a clean, tidy action. It's messy, actually. It's uncomfortable. It often means walking away from somebody that still has a grip on your heart, even when you know it's not right for you. It means feeling like you are standing on a cliff with no idea what's below you. But Spirit, Source, the universe, whatever name feels right to you, is telling me that the letting go is actually the opening. You think you are losing something, but you are really making room for something that's been waiting for your whole life. Your entire life. something that could only come in once the old structure collapsed. There is a part of you that knows this is true right now, even if you're fighting it. There is a part of you that feels the truth of what I'm saying, and that part, that deep knowing part, that is your inner child. That is the version of you that saw stars and believed in miracles and thought you could be anything. And that inner child is wiser than you give them credit for. That inner child knew things before the world told you to stop believing. And that inner child has not gone anywhere. They are just still there, just hidden behind years of protective armor. This is where we get to the deeper layer of the message. The thing that I was unsure about, the thing I questioned whether I should even say. Because it's going to feel personal, it's going to feel like I'm talking directly to you, because I am. And here it is. You are on a soul mission. Your life, every part of it, the good parts, the hard parts, the parts that don't make sense, the parts that keep you up at night, all of it is part of a mission. And the mission is to become fully yourself. Not the version of yourself that other people need you to be. Not the version that feels safe or acceptable. The original version. The version that existed before you were told that wanting things was wrong. That being different was dangerous. That your light was too much for others to handle. A lot of you are carrying something you didn't even know was there. You are carrying the karma, the energy, the unresolved pain of people who came before you. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your ancestors, maybe it's a collective weight that you absorbed because you were sensitive and open and you cared deeply. And you've been walking around with this invisible backpack full of rocks, and you've been so busy trying to serve that you never stopped to ask why you were so tired all the time, why everything felt like a battle, why even small challenges felt like mountains. Part of that, of what you are experiencing right now is an opportunity to put that backpack down. Not because you are abandoning anyone, but because you are choosing to heal. The conflicts you've been dealing with, the obstacles, the blocks, they are not your true path. They are directions. They are old energies trying to pull you off course. And the only way to get past them is to stop engaging with them the way you have been. Stop fighting them like they are real. Start seeing them for what they are, illusions that you have the power to walk past. I want to share something specific that came through when I was sitting with this. There is a situation, and you will know if it applies to you, where you received some information recently. Maybe it was a disappointment, maybe someone revealed something that changed the way you see a person or a project or even yourself. And that information shook you. It made you go back to the drawing board. It made you question your decisions. But what Spirit is telling me is that this information is not a setback. It's an opening. It is a blessing dressed in the clothing of problem. Because now you get to choose with more clarity. Now you get to see what was hidden before. Now you can move forward without the illusion that you were working with something solid. Some of you have been nestling. You've been building a space, maybe in your heart, maybe in your life, and you thought it was the right place. But now you realize there is a lot of activity around you. Traffic, noise, interference. And it's making you feel unsettled. But you are being shown that even in the middle of all that chaos, you know what you are doing. You have an inner wisdom that knows exactly where to be and when. The pressure you feel to move, to decide, to react to, that pressure is coming from outside, not from your soul. Your soul is at peace. Your soul is steady. Your soul is telling you that you are safe, that you are protected, and that you don't need to rush into anything just because the world around you is moving fast. There is a deep call right now to protect what you're birthing. Yeah. And I don't just mean a literal pregnancy. I mean the projects, the visions, the parts of yourself that are emerging. You are bringing something new into the world. Maybe it's a new way of being. Maybe it's a creative work. Maybe it's a transformation that no one else sees yet. And you need to be protective. You need to set boundaries. You need to let the world know that this thing, this creation, this energy that you are carrying, it matters. It's not to be pushed or rushed or compromised. It will come in its own time. And you are allowed to guard that space fiercely. The other thing that came through is about truth. There is a truth that you are learning right now, and it's not necessarily a comfortable truth. It might be about someone else. It might be about a situation, but whatever it is showing you that you have been dealing with something that is not entirely yours to carry. Some of the conflict you are experiencing is actually not yours. It's someone else's karma, someone else's pattern, someone else's unresolved stuff that has been projected onto you. And you have been picking it up and carrying it like it was your own. But it isn't. And you don't have to. You are allowed to set that down with love and say, this doesn't belong to me, and I'm not going to carry it anymore. What happens when you do that? What happens when you finally let the tower fall? When you stop trying to hold together something that was meant to collapse? You become free. Not in a vague, poetic way, actually free. You wake up feeling lighter. You start seeing opportunities you didn't see before. Your creative energy starts flowing again. You start to feel excited about things. You remember what it's like to want things without fear. You remember what it's like to love your life, your own life. The outcome of all of that, or all of this, the end result that Spirit is showing is celebration. Not just a personal celebration, but something shared with others. A coming together, a recognition that you made it through, a deep joy that you didn't give up when it would have been easier to. And that's why I had to deliver this, even though I was unsure, even though I questioned, second guessed. Because I know that some of you needed to hear this right now. You needed to be reminded that you are not alone in your struggle. You needed to be told that the heaviness you feel has a purpose. You needed to hear that your inner child is still alive, still wise, still waiting for you to let them lead the way. You needed permission to protect your own energy, to set boundaries, to say no to what doesn't serve you, even if it's hard. So here it is. This is the message. Spirit told me to tell you 3 times, and now I have. And I'm not going to leave you without a way forward. Because a message like this, it doesn't just sit there. It asks you to act. Not in a big, overwhelming way, but in a small, everyday ways. What does it look like for you to choose yourself? Yeah, that is a question. Today. Not a year from now. Not when things calm down. Today. What does it look like for you to prioritize your inner world? To honor that creative spark? To trust that you are important and that what you want matters. It might be as simple as taking 15 minutes to do something just for the joy of it. Not because it's productive, not because it will get you somewhere, just because it makes you feel alive. That's where it starts. And if that feels impossible, if you are so deep in the green that you cannot remember what play feels like, then start even smaller. Just close your eyes for a moment. Feel your breath. Remember that beneath all the responsibilities and all the roles, there is you. And you are enough. You always were. You just forgot. But now you remember. And remembering changes everything. Because you are the one who can shift the entire trajectory of your life. Starting right here, starting now, right now. This wasn't an accident. You seeing this, hearing these words, none of it was random. Something in you knew you were ready for this. And that something is the wisest, truest part of you. So trust it. Let it guide you. And know that you are capable of more than you've allowed yourself to believe. You always have been.